Assalamu alaikum. I am Shakil, lecturer accounting, Department of Accounting, Haji Misra University College. Today I am going to discuss the course Business Communication and Report Writing. This course is designed for BBA Honors second year. Now I am going to discuss what is communication. As a social being, we are to communicate with each other from various purposes. Even before the development of the language system, the ancient man used the sign. Sign and symbol for the exchanging the information. Here said that in ancient people exchange their news, views and their opinion by using sign and symbol. But the point of view psychologically, we can say conscious act. Communication means conscious act which require motivation. That is a person communication with another person having a particular motivation. A man communication with another man with a particular motivation. So now I am going to discuss definition of communication. What is communication? Communication is the two-way process through which two or more can share their idea and feelings. Through the communication, information and understanding can be transferred from one person to another person. At least to make effective communication, two persons need to involve. In the word of B.R. Rick and F.W. Glue, communication is the exchange of information that is a mutually understood. Newstrom and David say that communication, it is a way of reaching other by transmitting idea, fact and through feelings and values. According to the Oxford Dictionary, communication is the science and practice of transmitting the information. From the above discussion, we can say the point of element communication can be noted. One, two or more person is the essential element of effective communication. Exchange of idea and feelings, process or media and understanding of message. So at the end of the definition, we can say that communication is the process to exchange via media their feeling, news, views and opinion one person to another person and get a feedback. After getting a feedback, the communication process is ended. Our next question, communication system. The way through the information with this exchange communication take place is known as the communication system. It is another word communication. Information exchange system can be termed as a communication system. Communication system means the process of communication. How the communication is completed via using the channel, that is called the communication system. Now I am going to discuss about the communication system. Communication system has a flowing element of component: input, output and input, process and output. Input. To make effective communication, sender must input data, that the data or it may be oral, written or non-verbal, and process. Second step of communication is process. In a process, encoding signal and decoding, and third step is output. What is outputted? information, word and illustration, number and action. That is called the communication system. That is called the communication system. The first component of communication system is input. It can step data or provide the oral, written or non-verbal form. Without the data or the information cannot be communicated with the system. And second is process. In this process component, this step can be sender and receiver are involved. First of all, the sender generated the idea encoding the formation of the message and making the message understandable. After the encoding throughout the signal and media message is sent to the receiver. The decoding function is conducted by the receiver. In the case of decoding, receiver explain and interpreting the meaning of the message. And third process is output. After decoding the message, the receiver can accept or reject. After decoding the message, the receiver can accept or reject the meaning of according to take action. The action of the output communication. That was the system of communication. Our next question, basic components of communication. Our next question, basic component of communication. Basically, communication is two-way process. One person cannot make communication. That means one person cannot make effective communication. At least needed to two persons to require a successful communication. But the presence of the two persons never ensure the communication. Exchange of the message and mutual understanding are essential. Basic component of communication can be listed as follows. 1. Sender. 2. Messenger. 3. Receiver. 4. Feedback. Now I am going to discuss the details, the basic component of communication. First point 1 is sender. Communication started by sender. Sender started the communication process. In fact, other or willingness for a communication comes from the sender. Message. Another important element of the communication is the message. Message. There must be something to be communicated. Whatever the message is, short or long, does not matter. But there must be message which is to be transmitted by the sender to the receiver. And third component is receiver. There must be someone to receive the message. Receiver is the target. Receiver is the target of the message, and without receive communication is not possible. Without receive the receiver message, the communication is not possible. So receiver is one of the another element of the communication. And third is feedback. Feedback completes the communication loops. Feedback communication loop. That means feedback complete the communication process. For a successful communication, there must be a feedback from the receiver. Interaction between the component. Component of the communication are not separate from each other. They are interrelated. That means the element of the communication is one is related with another. The communication takes place throughout the interaction between the component. That means communication process start by interaction between the component. Message connect the sender, and message connect the sender and receiver throughout of immediate feedback confirm the understanding of the message. No cooperation or absence of any component will be break of communication circuit. That means sender, message and receiver and feedback one element. If the absence of the communication, that will not be effective communication. So to make effective communication, we need to interaction the communication component.